And so, anyways, during this class, we learned about S-curve. So what an S-curve is, it's the way you measure the adoption of new technologies. And so I've been using this, like Brett, like you said, throughout my whole career. So even before we met, I was using it in the early 1990s to identify computer stocks, like computer companies. So when I graduated from college in 1990, only 10% of US households had a personal computer. And by 2000, 10 years later, it was 90%. But if you look at when the PC was invented, it was invented like 1977 by Apple, but it was really like 1980 before like 0.1% of US households had a computer. So it took 10 years from 1980 to 1990 to go from 0% adoption to 10% adoption. But then it only took 10 more years to go from 10% to 90% adoption. So that's what S-curve is. You're looking for that apex of when it goes from 10% to 90%. And so if we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin was invented in 2009. By 2019, 10% of US household had owned Bitcoin. In 2020, the comptroller of the US currency, Brian Brooks, said it was 15%. Last year, we did a study, there was a study released of 30,330 households. And that study showed that 25% of US households owned Bitcoin last year. And if you project this out, it shows that by 2029, so in 7 more years, 90% of US households will own Bitcoin or have exposure to blockchain, digital currency, these types of digital assets. And so we have 7 years of this mega trend, mass adoption left. And it's still early. A lot of people keep thinking, like, I missed it. Bitcoin went from 100 to 40,000. I missed it. You haven't missed it. Our models, we have models that help us figure out what Bitcoin's worth in the future. Our models are showing that Bitcoin's going to be worth somewhere between $10 million of Bitcoin and $18 million of Bitcoin in year 2029 to year 2030. And these models are 95 to 99% correlated to the historical price of Bitcoin over the past 12 years. These aren't like models like we're pulling out of our butt. I mean, these are highly correlated models that have, been, correct over the past 12 years. And the models are telling us it's going to be worth a lot more in the future.